Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. I am Justin George, joined as always by Kyle Price. George in the background. What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's new?
Same old shit. Just nothing. I was cooking dinner tonight, and I'm an idiot, and I didn't fully read the recipe. It was a pork loin, so I read the recipe, and it said, throw it in the oven, 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. And I start cooking it, and then when I go to read the rest of the recipe, I realize it says cook it for 30 minutes, take it out, add the vegetables, do some other things, and then cook it for another 30 minutes. And I'm going, oh shit, I'm not going to have enough time to get all this done before the show. So I got it all out, cut it all up, got Teddy's plate, Tara's got a plate, and I'm upstairs before I even got to take a bite. So here we are. But it works out.
Good thing we're going to make the quick show so you can go eat them before the Cavs start.
Yeah, I get a quick show. I got the Cavs game. I brought the TV up with me. I made sure to do that. That's what took me a couple extra minutes there. I wanted to make sure I had a TV so I could at least watch that. So with that being said, we are ready to rock and roll. And yeah, we're here. We're going to do a quick show today, everybody. Sorry for the inconvenience. But with our dual vacations coming up over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure Kyle is just as busy. I leave for Disney in a few days. We leave Sunday, so I have to get everything ready. We did have a wedding supposed to be on Saturday. It is not happening. Hopefully everything's okay with them. No news on why. Not my business either. But it is, I'm not going to lie, it's bittersweet. Obviously, seeing friends and a joyful moment with friends is, of course, exciting. But at the same time, having that Saturday with a little bit more free time to make sure I'm ready to go for our Disney trip is nice. So it works out. Because that day was going to be hectic. So for those of you that don't know, Tara and I are wedding. When we first officially started dating, it was October 25th, 2007. Fast forward, we like the date, so we decided to get married on October 25th, 2019. So we have our wedding anniversary on the 25th, and then when we got our invitation to our friend's wedding, it said October 25th, and we were like, well, shit, because before we got the invitation, we had dinner plans, and we had our whole anniversary date set. We were going to do stuff locally. That's why we picked to fly out on the 26th. We thought, okay, because we always take a trip for our anniversary. So we were like, well, Saturday, we will hang out locally. We'll have some fun. We'll get our packing done. We'll go out to dinner. Anniversary night, her mom's going to watch Teddy. And then the next day we get up and we fly to Orlando. When the wedding came, it was, oh shit, we already have dinner reservations. Her mom's watching Teddy. We'd like to do that for our anniversary, but now we have a wedding to go to, so we were only going to go to the ceremony. And we had to have a second babysitter coming over for that. So it was just going to be a long fucking stressful day. And on top of it, still trying to get packed and ready. So every minute counts. Pretty much, though, since the last time we talked last week, not a whole lot's happened. We went to, what did we do? Friday night, Tara went to an outing with her friend Lorene. I stayed home with Teddy, so it was a cool, chill night. Saturday, we went to Cedar Point again. This time, just the two of us. We like to do a Halloween weekends, just the two of us date every year with our Cedar Point passes. So we did that, and I realized also on Friday that I am officially old. I know I'm 36. I'm younger than both of you guys. But I woke up Friday with a sore neck from sleeping, and I didn't think much of it. I'm like, okay, every once in a while you wake up. I love to crack my neck. I don't know what it is. I love, snapping it, and I hear it popping. It feels great. I fucking love it. So I wake up Friday, and I don't have the ability to do that. It's very painful. I can't turn my head all the way to the left. I'm like, this sucks. But again, I'm 36. I thought it'll be fine by the morning. It's not a big deal. I'll be all good. So I don't think much of it. I go to Cedar Point on Saturday with Tara. I get up, I cut the grass, then we go to Cedar Point. I ride a couple rides, and I get off the rides, and I'm like, dude, my fucking head hurts. My neck, some of the rides, your head's not supported, so I'm just bouncing around, and I'm like, dude, it fucking hurts. But I was feeling pretty good. I had eaten some mood-enhancing gummies, and I went, as soon as we get to Cedar Point, it is tradition, we go right to a bar called Trail Tavern that is just past the Millennium Force into right in the beginning of Frontierland or whatever it's called there. And they have all the cocktails, mixed drinks. There's a special drink that they serve there that's called the Gunslinger. I get it every single time we go there. The Gunslinger is basically it's basically a Long Island iced tea, but it has cranberry juice instead of pop. So it's every liquor basically you can think of. It is tequila, it's rum, it's vodka, it's gin. Then they put a little bit of simple syrup or sour mix. I'm sorry, a little bit of sour mix, and then cranberry juice. And it's literally like a tiny splash of cranberry. So you're basically just drinking a cup of alcohol.
Nice.
And mind you, a 24-ounce can of like Coors Light is like $16, which I could drink 10 of those. You know what I mean? Like, beer doesn't do a whole lot for you. So getting this, they're $14.99. So after tip and tax, it's usually like $36 for two of them for me and Tara. And again, can't really beat it because you're paying that for if you got 2 beers. So I'd rather get a cup full of liquor. So we always go straight there. We get a Gunslinger, then we walk around, maybe go ride a ride, come back. We get a couple Gunslingers every time. So yeah, Saturday night I get a couple Gunslingers. I eat a gummy. I'm feeling good. Walking around Cedar Point. Neck's feeling fine. We leave, come home, go to bed, wake up. Neck's still a little sore. I go to the bar with my father-in-law to watch the Browns game. And we're sitting there, and he's like, is this table okay? You got the TVs here, TVs there. I'm like, honestly, this is perfect because I can only look right. I was like, I can't turn my head left because my neck's hurting so bad. And he laughed, and he's like, yeah, that happens. He's like, I deal with that every day. And then, same thing. It's uncomfortable, but didn't really think much of it. And then I don't know what the fuck happened, but Sunday into Monday, I was in pain. I could not move my fucking head. I called off work. I couldn't lift my head up. It was so sore. Like if I laid with my head back, I literally didn't have the strength to like lift it up. It hurt so fucking bad. Wow. The pain was so severe, and I Googled it to make sure that it was legit because I was like, am I dying? But the pain was so intense that like it made me feel nauseous. So I started Googling it like, dude, do I have to go to a hospital? And, I get all my advice from Reddit, and people on Reddit said like, yeah, when you have a neck injury like that, like muscle injuries or pain, it can cause nausea. So I wasn't feeling great. Felt sick. Again, I called off work. I laid around all day. I bought Icy Hot. I have been lathering up with Icy Hot and popping Excedrin for the last few days, and I'm happy to report I can turn left. It's still a little sore, but I need it to get better for Disney, so that's all I care about. Again, Icy Hot, Excedrin. I'm feeling much better. It can actually, I can hear it pop a little bit every now and again, so that's good. I think I'm getting back to normal.
You are getting old, man.
Old, dude. Again, I'm like, all right, you wake up with a sore neck every once in a while from sleeping. It happens. You get a sore back, whatever. But again, I'm used to it bouncing back in like a day. This has been 4 days now, and I'm like, what the fuck? Or more than that now at this point. But I was struggling for the whole weekend. I'm feeling much better today.
I didn't do much. We had fun this weekend. We went out Saturday, met with friend Dave and his wife Ann. We met them down at Brewdog down in the
Flats. Oh yeah.
And I've never been to that place. I've drank their beer multiple times, but we went down there on Saturdays. They have like a brunch. So we sat outside, beautiful day. Saturday is like 80 degrees, perfect weather. Sat in the patio, ordered brunch, had a little avocado toast, little breakfast burrito, our breakfast taco, and had a couple beers. We went down, sat by the river right down there, watched the boats go by, and then we're like, all right, well, it's great weather. Let's go, keep going. So we went over to Collision Bend, sat in the patio there, had a couple drinks there, and hung out for a while there, had a little appetizer. And then we met up with a group of people at the hydrant of our local stomping grounds, of course. We went out there and ended up hanging out there till midnight. So we had a 12 to 12 day on Saturday, which was
not bad.
I've not done that in a while, right? So then all Sunday was a sit around and do nothing day. Did not leave off the couch, watch football, and did nothing. So I honestly was okay with that. And now we're prepping for, we mentioned we have vacations coming up. So this week, nothing really going on this week. We have, and then next week we go to Vegas on Friday. So we fly out Friday afternoon, and we're there for Halloween, which I'm looking forward to. Can't wait to.
You guys land?
We land in 6:00 local time, their time. So
okay. So you'll still be able to have a little bit of fun that night. Perfect.
Time to get to we're staying at the Luxor right down on the Strip for 2 nights, and then going down to downtown Grand. I'm sorry, down to old downtown, staying at the, I think, Fremont Casino.
Okay.
3 nights after that. So we're there from Friday until the following Thursday when we fly out. So it should be a fun week. Always look forward to Vegas in November. So
that's a long time in Vegas. That's an expensive trip, but I'm spending a week at Disney, so I know the feeling. It's not going to be cheap coming home from that.
All the cheap stuff to do, and we honestly last year we've got it down to a science, like places to eat, places to go. Like Like we'll walk by and just go to like the random liquor stores and just get like a 24 ounce, walk out with an airplane bottle. So like you're getting a drink and a beer for like next to nothing, and just drink it while you're walking around, right? And then go to some cheap places. Like I got to go to Nacho Daddy with my newfound love of avocado and guacamole. I can't wait to go in there and just order a big old fucking.
You say it's called Nacho Daddy?
It's called Nacho Daddy. Yeah,
Nacho Daddy. Interesting.
It's like they're all over in Vegas, but they have it's Mexican food, obviously. But we went there last year. Good food. So I can't wait to go back when we first get there this year and just have a big old whopping bowl of guacamole. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Disney. I got some things I learned recently. I think I talked about it last week. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But I wanted to do a character meal with Teddy. I thought she would enjoy that. They're very expensive. For those of you that don't know Disney pricing, it is very expensive. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, all right, well, for breakfast is cheaper for the character things for the most part. And it is like, I forgot how much, like $50 a person for an adult. And then kids are like 30 something. So I'm like, okay, whatever. After tax and tip and all that shit, I'm like looking at like $150+. Whatever. It's one meal. I don't care. So I look into it and then I Google something. I'm like, you know what? She's only 20 months old. So let me see something. I look it up and sure enough, it says that kids under 2 are free. So that she can just eat off of our plates. So I'm like, hell yeah, just saved us like $30 to $40 depending on how you look at it. So hell yeah. So looking forward to that. We got a couple reservations. We're doing Hollywood Studios on Monday for sure. I did reservations at Olga's Cantina, the Star Wars bar. I went there a few years ago with my buddies, and it was really cool. It's a fun environment. So I was like, we'll go there. Teddy will have fun, middle of the day. Air conditioning. It's supposed to be pretty warm, like mid to upper 80s with obviously Florida humidity. But I'm excited. We got reservations galore. We have every day planned out. We know the parks we're going to. Then we've of course we have the Disney's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on Halloween night, which is a very coveted ticket. So I'm very happy to report we are there. Can't wait. Have our Halloween costumes all picked out. Teddy's going to be Tinkerbell.
Awesome.
We're looking forward to it. Yeah, we can't wait. So that'll be fun. And we will report on our vacations when we come back. So again, we are off for the next 2 weeks. We'll still be doing our picks. We'll post them on social media and everything. Yay. If any breaking news, there was Mickey Mouse himself chiming in. And if any breaking news comes up, obviously we'll do some stories, maybe a TikTok or a Facebook Live or something like that to cover everything. And I don't expect the Browns to win on Sunday. Spoiler alert for that. But if they do, I might have to try to get my hands on a buzzball down in Florida. I'm sure they have them. It's Florida. They probably have worse. But
they might win. They're on all it takes is one. Our defense is pretty good.
The one thing we'll talk about it. New England is not a world beater. They're a good team, but they're not a world beater. They've kept some games close against some lower opponents. So that shows that there is room for error on their part. So if the Browns can capitalize, and the other thing too, which we'll talk about. I don't want to spoil my predictions. But we are going to do sort of a quicker episode just because, again, we have so much shit to do. I want to get off of here and eat. I want to get off of here, take a shower. I haven't even had a chance to do that. I texted Tara right before I left work, and I said, I'm going to run to the store to pick up some ingredients I need for dinner. And Tara goes, well, you better be home by 4. And I'm like, why? It's Wednesday. She goes, I have a nail appointment at 4:15. And I'm like, shit, yep, it's in the calendar. Completely forgot about it and overlooked it. So she got her Disney nails done today for Halloween and Mickey themed and everything. So
you got her nails did?
She did. I have nothing to do with it. I didn't even know she was going. We're not the kind of couple where the husband pays for the wife to do stuff. That's on you. You want to go get your nails done? Go for it. I don't give a fuck what you do with your money. So, yeah, she got her nails done, Mickey and Disney themed, and we're ready to go. So again, I haven't had a minute to myself today because I had to take care of Teddy and cook dinner while Tara was gone. So we are. Sam Merrill draining threes, Cavs with a 10-5 lead for those keeping score at home. But with that being said, let's get right into it. The Browns did win on Sunday. They got the W, and not just a W. They literally beat the hell out of the Miami Dolphins 31-6. The game was never close. Tua looked terrible.
They're 2-0 in the disgustingly shit brown uniforms now.
Yeah, I like them. They're not. Don't get me wrong. If you go back to Baker's rookie season, those colorless jerseys they wore on that Thursday night game when Baker came out, even before, this has nothing to do with that game because I loved those jerseys the second they announced them. But they are phenomenal jerseys, truthfully. I loved the color rush. These are okay. They're missing the stripes, in my opinion, but I do like them. I do. I like the helmet. It's growing on me. When I first saw it, I didn't really care for it, but I did say, I was like, I need to see them in person, or like I need to see them in a game. And I do like them. I do. I think they match the jerseys a lot better than the orange ones would. So very cool. They're undefeated in them. Do I think that actually has anything to do with it? No, I'm going to be honest. If they wore them on Sunday, I don't think it means that they have a better chance of winning the game, as much as I try to enjoy, or as much as I do believe in some superstitions. For instance, when the Cavs won the championship, I did dress up in the same clothes every game, sat in the same spot on my couch once they started winning, because again, I'm superstitious. But at the end of the day, I also realize it has.
I don't know if they could wear them because they're the away team. They could probably pull out the all-white version of this. The all-white helmet, the all-white jersey would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it would. I don't think they got approval. The NFL's very fucking weird, and you have to get approval for all that shit, so it's annoying. But no, I mean, I like them. I like the jerseys. They look good, and especially on a shitty day like that, it's kind of fitting that they all look like turds because it was rainy and windy and garbage, but the Browns were able to dominate. Quinshon Judkins, the man in the show, or in the picture there, the Quinn Show, he had 3 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel was like 13 of 18 for like 120 yards or something like that. No interceptions, no touchdowns. Did just enough to win the game, as he should, as his job is to be the game manager, / backup quarterback, however you want to look at it. Defense looked fantastic. I think Tua had 3 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. Then they forced a fumble on a kickoff. So the defense had 4 turnovers. Browns committed none. So that's how you win a game. That is winning basketball right there through and through. Is all levels of the team played well. Special teams played well. Defense played well. Offense.
Watching basketball and talking football. So you said all levels of football or basketball game. It's all right. You got it.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that's how you win basketball or something. You said basketball and you meant to say football. It's okay. You're watching basketball now.
I am very into I'm so excited that the NBA started and the Cavs are back. So I'm zoning in on it.
Are they on TV or are they in FanDuel?
It's on ESPN.
Oh, cool. I'll put it on real quick. Yeah,
so, okay, my bad. That's how you win football games, is dominate all 3 levels, and you play, as Kevin Stefanski said after week 2, complementary football. Again, special teams played really well. They forced a turnover, and they didn't allow any big returns or anything like that. Defense played dominant, and the offense played really well, especially the run game. Blocking looked really good against a very depleted Miami team. Let's call it what it is. Miami's not good. Miami is shockingly still employing Mike McDaniel. I thought for sure they would have canned him, to be honest, and they did not. They're sticking with him. Stephen Ross is going to let him go down with the ship, I suppose, so more power to them. But the Browns get a big W. They get a lot of pressure off their back because things were getting ugly. Fans were getting pissed. People were wanting to fire Stefanski, fire Barry, bench Dylan Gabriel, blah, 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 because they lost to Pittsburgh, which I get it. Pittsburgh's a big game. It gets everybody pissed off when you lose to them. But as we said before the season started, when you looked at the first set of 6 games that the Browns had on their schedule, I think everybody in the Brothers said if they come out of there with 2 wins, that's great. They didn't. They came away with 1. But if, again, 2 isn't really a high bar. So they should have come away with 3, technically speaking. As I've said before, they should have won the Bengals game. The missed kicks, that'll get you. The dropped catches for interceptions, those got you. And then they should have won the Vikings game if the defense didn't blow it at the end, which, again, is your bread and butter for your team. And people are bitching and moaning about Dylan Gabriel, saying, he's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. He is doing just enough to win you games he's doing just enough to not lose you games, I should say. He's not doing much to win, but he's also not doing anything to lose, which is fine. When you're a bad team, the Browns, Vegas had the over-under at like 4.5. They're not expected to be a good team. We're already at 2 wins. That's not bad. I'll take that in the middle of October with an easy-ish kind of schedule coming up. Again, New England, not a world beater. Then you get a bye. The Browns are relatively healthy as of right now, knock on wood. But then they get another week to recover, which a guy like Jack Conklin might be able to come back from his concussion, maybe. I believe he's actually practicing now. If I'm not mistaken, the only person missing practice this week so far was Aiden Huntington, our fullback / defensive tackle who's been out with a concussion. That extra week could potentially give Mike Hall a chance to get back onto the field. after.
What's his injury? I didn't even see any updates with him.
So he had the knee injury. He tore some stuff in his knee in the last game of the season last year against Baltimore. He had surgery in the offseason to repair a few things, and he has just been spending the beginning of the season practicing with the team because the rules for the NFL state, and this is one thing that fans don't understand. They get pissed off every week because he's always questionable and then hasn't played yet. So fans are like, what the fuck? It's week 8 or 7, whatever. They're like, it's week 7. Why isn't he playing yet? Why didn't they just put him on the fucking PUP list? Blah, blah, blah. And the rules of the NFL state that if you put a guy on the PUP list, they're not allowed to practice with the team. So the Browns purposely did not put him on the PUP list so he can practice with the team. So he's out there practicing, but his knee is just not quite there yet to play. It also could be, but we're good enough and have enough depth that they're like, we don't need you yet. I hate to say it, but there could be some changes. You know, the trade deadline's coming up in 2 weeks. There are a couple veterans that could be going. And Malik Collins is a name that's being tossed around. He was signed on a 1-year cheap deal for the Browns. And he's a guy who's playing dominant football, truthfully. Malik Collins, if you look it up, is arguably the best defensive tackle in football right now, according to Pro Football Focus and stuff like that. Not statistically, but he's dominating his job. And there's rumors that people say, maybe he's a guy the Browns trade because you can then get rid of him. And then Mike Hall's going to step in and take those snaps. So it's kind of I won't say it's a wash because, Mike Hall's still kind of an unproven player, but it's a good move for the Browns. If you can get, a 3rd-round pick for Collins or something like that, wouldn't hate the trade. So yeah, I think Hall will probably be back.
And Sunday, watching the defense just kind of come together a little bit, like watching some of the plays go back and seeing Mason Graham kind of get to the backfield a couple of times before anybody even had a chance to slow him down was promising, right? Watching him develop over the first couple of games of the season has been fun. Like people shit on him for a while. Like I even had some concerns, like maybe wasn't the right pick, but he's got so many skills that are just not really highlight reel skills, but he gets the job done. He stuffs the run. He gets to the backfield. He rushes the quarterback, makes the quarterback make bad throws. And what happens? We pick him off, right? But at the same time, our entire defense as a whole, like the trade we made I'm forgetting his name, is for Jacksonville's guy, the one that had the
Tyson
Campbell. Jesus Christ, man! Like the speed on that guy to chase down A-Chain was amazing. He's all over the field. Like what a trade that was, right? What a trade we got for him, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to, sign him again, right? Do we have a ability to sign him, or what's his contract? Do you even see?
So he signed an extension with the Jaguars last year. So he is on a 3-year contract. A 3-year contract currently, and all the guaranteed money, like 90% of it or ever, was covered by the Jags. So he is under the control of the Browns for the next 3 seasons. And the other cool thing about that is, again, he's playing great. I don't suspect them trying to move on from him at all. But if, God forbid, he ends up not being good, if we run into some trouble with him, whatever, he can be cut for essentially nothing. So he has a very, very team-friendly contract. But no, it was a great trade. And I talked about it last week, after they made it, because it happened right after we got off the air 2 weeks ago, they made the trade. And, a lot of people were shitting on it. And they're like, what the fuck are the Browns doing? Why do you trade for a cornerback? This, blah, blah, blah. And I try to tell people, I'm like, well, he is a great man-to-man corner, whereas Greg Newsome's a better zone corner. Jags play a lot of zone. Browns play a lot of man. It's a perfect situation. And the contract is good. Everything worked out. It truly, in my opinion, was a win-win trade. It's hard to see those in the NFL. A lot of times, I take it back because as of right now, Greg Newsome's getting smoked like a cheap cigarette every week. So I don't know if it's a win for the Jags. For the Browns, it's a win so far. But realistically speaking, if Greg Newsome can get his shit together, it's a win-win trade. It's rare that you see those where it's truly like, here's a guy who's better for your system. Here's a guy who's better for our system. Here's a guy that you can control financially. Here's a guy you can control financially. Boom, fair trade. It was a great move. And he had a couple blunders against the Steelers, which happens. It was late in the game. He slipped once against DK Metcalf, got burned once by Metcalf. It happens. I'm not expecting a corner. It happens to Denzel Ward. Even the best corners in the game get burned every once in a while. So I'm not expecting 100% shutdown corner from anybody. But yeah, I think that game he caught that tipped ball for the interception pick 6, defended every pass. He gave up no catches on Sunday. Again, the Dolphins stink. Tua looked terrible.
I can't believe they're starting him as quarterback, which is mind blowing to me.
There's rumors that they're thinking about making some changes.
And
his leash is short.
If McDaniels wants his job, I mean, he needs to be making a change now.
Yeah, the only problem is their backup is Zach Wilson, and behind him is Quinn Ewers. So they don't really have a lot of good options. Again, I totally get it. But if you do make that move to Zach Wilson and he goes out there and sucks, then McDaniels, he's gone. But
Quinn Ewers, come on, we had such high hopes of him coming out of college. Let's go, put him in there, see what he's got.
I mean, he looked decent against the Browns. He played a little bit on Sunday, so he came in and he actually completed some passes downfield. But again, the Browns are in prevent, so take it for what you will. But the other thing this week, of course, which is naturally going to happen because there is a split fan base for some reason, and it's not even fans. I won't even call it that. It is Shedeur Sanders fans that care more about Shedeur than they do the Browns, because the Browns came off with a win, and this is what's infuriating to me. And I don't even want to say infuriating. It's more like it's bewildering. The Browns win 31-6, a 25-point win. Biggest win, and tied for the biggest win, I think, in Kevin Stefanski's career, or second biggest win in his career as the head coach, points wise. And the first thing that Tony Rizzo does on his show on Monday morning, when does Shedeur play? That's literally the first topic he talked about. The Browns get a W, which Browns fans used to get so excited about, no matter how many they got in a season. And his first thing was, when does Shedeur get to play? And I couldn't believe it.
Probably because they didn't think that Dylan Gabriel looked good on Sunday.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling, because sometimes quarterbacks, if your quarterback doesn't need to throw the ball for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns every week, okay, a win's a win. 31-6, but they're like, nah, Gabriel looked terrible. He looked so bad. And it's like, we won by 25, and he outperformed, say what you will about Tua, he outperformed a former top 5 draft pick who got a second contract with the Dolphins. So it's not like Tua's bad. Yes, he's struggling this season, but it's not like he's been career terrible, like a bust. He's had his ups and downs. So Dylan Gabriel outperformed him in that game. Again, not saying much. The bar was very low if you look at Dylan Gabriel's stats, but very low bar. And they're like, I think it's time for Shedeur. This kid's 1-2, should be 2-1. Let's be real. The Minnesota game, he did enough to win you that game. Threw for 2 touchdowns. Defense let you down at the end. So he should be 2-1. I get it. He's 1-2. I'm not going to rewrite history. And fans are like, time for Shedeur. I just can't believe it. And we're heading into, again, the soft spot of our schedule where we have, yes, the Patriots will be tough this week, but then we get to go up against the Raiders. We get to go up against the Jets. We get the Titans.
The Cavs are losing by more.
Yeah, it's not looking good, not going well right now, but I kind of expected it. But the NBA did, and that's annoying. I hate that they changed the high five rule to where now if you touch a guy's hand, if you give a guy a high five basically after he shoots the ball, they used to never call it. Now it's a foul.
Oh.
So that's exactly what just happened right there. So literally the guy shot the ball was out of his hand. Mobley's hand hit his hand as he was shooting, didn't affect the shot at all. Foul and 1. So yeah, not going great. Cavs can't hit any shots right now. They got Mitchell on the bench. So Lonzo Ball's chucking up a bunch of bricks. It's getting ugly for the offense right now. But
season form.
Say again.
I said it's early season form for the Cavs. They always start off slow, and then slowly come together at the end.
No Garland, no Strus, no DeAndre Hunter tonight. So you're already down 3 starters basically. So not great. Well, one's obviously a 6th man, but basically you're out of your top 6 players, you only have half of them right now. So not going great. But again, it's week 1 or game 1. I am not getting overly excited for the regular season this year like I used to. If they win, great. If they don't, whatever. Get me to the fucking playoffs.
What matters is in playoff time. Like the last month of the season, 2 months of the season, that's when I'll get excited.
Yeah. I could truly care less about this game. I would like to win, obviously, because I have friends that are Knicks fans, so I'd like to, talk shit to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're going to treat this like a championship because they don't know what championships are like in New York. So I'll make sure to rub that part into as well. Now, so that's the recap of the Browns game. Again, nothing too exciting. 2 bad teams, 2 teams that went 1-5 coming into it. Browns handled their business. They beat the hell out of them. That's the one nice thing, for my opinion. Last week, there was nothing but fire Stefanski talk and bench Dylan Gabriel talk, and this put most of that to rest because had they struggled against the Dolphins, sure, you can argue, fire some people. Maybe he lost the team. but they dominated. After the game, everyone's hugging Stefanski. They look like they won the Super Bowl. So I think it's safe to say he did not lose the locker room or has not lost the locker room. So good win, handled their business, did what they needed to do. On to New England. Now let's do a quick recap around the NFL of the week that was, and we will go over our picks from last week. I have everything already mathed out. There's George. We have Thursday Night Football last week was Joe Flacco and the Pittsburgh Bengals, and they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in a shitty game for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions, which is pretty rough for him.
I thought that was a really good game, to be honest. I thought that game was entertaining to watch. I mean, going back,
much so.
I liked it. So
it was a fun game, absolutely. The people chanting "Thank you, Cleveland" after the win for Cincinnati, I just laugh and I go, let's see what happens next week, because Joe Flacco's that kind of player that he might go out there one week and look great. Next week he's going to shit the bed. So,
however, it did end the streak of betting for Joe Flacco interception, though. It kind of ruined it, Him and his
oh yeah, true. He did not throw an interception.
Tucker.
But things can change this week. I forgot who they play. The Jets, I think. So that'll be interesting. Jets have, Sauce Gardner might read a couple picks, but then again, last time Flacco played the Jets, he whipped their ass when he was with Cleveland. So that was Thursday Night Football. Sunday morning in London, the Rams beat the hell out of the Jags. So I joked, I'm looking ahead a little bit, but I joked with some people on the YouTube chat for the Tony Rizzo show that there are still people that are like obsessed with Baker.
Was Chipper one of them?
No, I didn't see him he doesn't go on Rizzo. He goes on 92.3 The Fan. I don't go on that one that often, so I didn't see him. But there are a lot of people in there that are still obsessed with Baker. And I joked on Tuesday morning and I said, the Browns win, the Jags lose, and Baker loses. I said it's the holy trinity for some Browns fans. And sure enough, Jags got their asses kicked by the Rams. I'm an idiot. Luckily, it didn't bite me in the ass, but I benched Matthew Stafford because I was like, you know what? He's without Puka. They traveled kind of late to England, and the Jags defense had played pretty well. They led the league in turnovers and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, Jags look legit. Maybe Stafford struggles a little bit. And then you have Justin Fields was my backup, and I said Justin Fields is taking on the Carolina Panthers. All I need him to do is, run for 40 yards and score a couple touchdowns, and I'm going to get some points from him. So I sat Matthew Stafford, who ended up scoring about 38 points in my league, for Justin Fields, who scored, I think, 2.
Was that a bear in the background, or was that George?
That was me.
It was George and the bear. So I did that blunder of a move, but it ended up not hurting me because I still won my game. I had a lot of other guys show up big for me. So I went 2-0 in fantasy this week, even though I did bench Matthew Stafford, but I will never make that mistake again. However, my big problem this week is I have Justin Fields and Matt Stafford is on a bye. So I have to cut Justin Fields, pick up another quarterback, and let me just tell you that the talent pool is slim pickings. So I'll deal with that when I have to. I got to pick somebody.
Whopping 1-2 this weekend in fantasy. I got beat in 2 of my big money leagues. Not very happy about it.
Marcus Mariota's out there, baby.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota's going against Kansas City, and Washington has next to no wide receivers. So I'm kind of thinking about staying away from that one. The 2 guys I'm eyeing, to be honest with you, and I'll get your guys' opinion here, surprisingly. One is Tyrod Taylor. He's available. He's expected to start for the Jets this week, and they might have Quentin.
I think they named him already, didn't they? I thought they were going to.
No, Aaron Glenn. It's going to happen, but Aaron Glenn didn't officially say it yet. I think he's waiting for Friday. But he's supposed to have Garrett Wilson back this week, which is huge. And, again, I don't need a lot from him. I have a pretty good roster, so if he just gets me 20 points, I'm pretty happy with that. But my other guy that I'm thinking about taking, who's facing Tampa Bay this week, is Spencer Rattler. So Spencer Rattler has, I think, 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season. Not terrible. He threw 2 touchdowns last week. He did have 3 interceptions, but he did throw for 2 touchdowns, like 200-something yards. So if I can just get a couple touchdowns and some yards out of him, I'm pretty comfortable. But again, the pickings are really slim. It's literally, I have Marcus Mariota available, Carson Wentz available, Rattler, Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, Taylor. Like, it's not a great pool.
I would probably go with Taylor against the Bengals defense. I mean, that honestly,
that was exactly what my thought was. The Bengals defense stinks. Tyrod Taylor could provide a little bit of a spark for their passing game because Justin Fields is garbage. And I don't know. I might just do it. Again, I only need him for 1 week, so I might just throw him in.
As a Band-Aid, I think he'll get you enough points. Probably looking for the 10 to 15 range, right? To be whatever.
That's it. Yeah, give me 10 to 20 points. I'm very happy with that for a guy at the ass end of the free agent pool. So we'll go from there.
Don't forget about Andy Dalton.
Dalton is available too. I was kind of thinking about him as well, but I also don't remember how he's looked recently. I know he came in for a little bit to sub for Bryce Young the other day, but I didn't really watch the game too much, so I didn't see how well he looked. And I don't know, Andy Dalton makes me nervous. I think he sucks, so I'm really skeptical on him. I think they might do a lot of running with Andy Dalton in there, so that's the other problem is they're just going to give the ball to Rico Dowdle a ton and not put the ball in Andy Dalton's hands, and I would respect that decision. Next up, though, Chicago beats New Orleans, as we just talked about, 25-14. I think it says 25. I got to zoom in my computer. 26.
14.
Yeah, there it is. 26-14. Browns, of course, win 31-6. Kansas City wins 31-0 at Goose Egg. George with a big double check mark on that one because he took Kansas City minus 12.5. Kyle and I both took Tampa Bay minus 5.5 or plus 5.5. Thank you, Baker, for nothing.
Sure.
Philly wins 28-22. Carolina wins 13-6. New England wins 31-13 over Tennessee. Denver wins a crazy game, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter to win 33-32.
Hell of a fourth quarter.
That game was
box score in that
nuts.
game is insane. Looking at the box score, like first quarter,
0-0-0, 33.
Yeah.
Indianapolis wins 38-24. They look legit. Green Bay sneaks out a win against Jacoby Brissett, 27-23. Dallas beats the hell out of Washington, 44-22. Jaden Daniels is hurt again. Sophomore slump is legit for him. San Francisco wins 20-10 over Atlanta. Atlanta is so fucking Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know what to make of that team. Any week I count them out, they win. And then a week when I'm like, you know what? I think they're good. They kick me in the ass. Detroit beats up on Tampa Bay 24-9, and Seattle wins a game that was not actually as close as the scoreboard looks, 27-19. Houston Texans are terrible.
Pretty good.
Yes and no. Seattle's another one that's kind of Jekyll and Hyde. They have wins. They're 5-2, but if you look at who they beat, not the greatest teams. I think obviously beating the Texans isn't much. They lost to the Niners in week 1. They lost to the Buccaneers. I forgot the rest of their schedule, but it was like they beat the Saints. Like they haven't really beat anybody that great. So we'll see how that balances out. I like to think that the cream rises to the top a lot of times when you have teams that start off hot. It's like eventually they're going to balance out, and hasn't happened yet for the Seahawks, but I could definitely foresee it. With that being said, I went 10-5, Kyle went 12-3, and George went 10-6 with his extra pick that he got. So the standings are currently 68-42 for moi, 75-34 for Kyle, and 59-51 for Georgie. So still close.
Pulling away.
It's still very, very close. 7 games is nothing at week 8. So just takes.
And it's Halloween season, baby. So everything's happening.
The wicked moon. So now we will move on. That was your update there. We're going to do a quick Cavs season preview. Not a whole lot to go over again. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I am just looking forward to the postseason. So the regular season doesn't mean shit to me. I'm kind of over. I don't care about individual awards or whatever. Like last year, okay, Donovan Mitchell was first team All-NBA. Evan Mobley was second team. Evan Mobley won Defensive Player of the Year. Whoopity fucking do, because what did it do for us in the playoffs? Nada. So it doesn't matter. I don't care about those kind of awards. Same thing with football. Unless your team sucks. Like if the Browns stink and we have no shot at winning anything, Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year would be very cool. Other than that, don't care about individual awards. We have no player on our team that could even come close to winning MVP for the Browns. So it's pretty much go out there and watch Myles Garrett play really well. That's your weekly homework for the Browns. For the Cavs, yes, Donovan Mitchell, I'd love to see him take another step forward and put himself in the MVP candidate, but I just don't think he's that kind of player. He can score, he can pass a little bit, but that's about it. He's not like a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander where he's going to average like 30 points a night. Donovan Mitchell can go out there, pass the ball, score 15 to 20 points, and that's pretty much all he needs to do. And the Cavs can sometimes win some games as they did last year. So we don't have that type of player, and I don't want that kind of player because, again, regular season doesn't mean much. I don't need them to go out there and kill themselves. So that's my preview for the Cavaliers. I think the Cavs are the team to beat in the East once they get fully healthy. The East presumably isn't going to be that tough. The Knicks are decent, and the Sixers, if they're healthy, but that's saying something. That's a bold guess. I don't see that happening. Those are really the only two teams, in my opinion. The Bucks are okay. The Bucks aren't really a super threat to me. Boston's not a threat with their injuries. Indianapolis is not a threat with their guys that left and with the Tyrese Halliburton injury. So in the East, it is the Cavs, Knicks, and the Sixers, 1, 2, 3 in that order, in my opinion. And we'll see how it all shakes out. So that's my season preview. Again, assuming they don't choke, the Cavs should be the Eastern Conference representative in the NBA this season, obviously barring injuries, barring trades from other teams, if teams try to build a little bit on their rosters. But with the change to the rules and the second apron bullshit, teams are eventually they have to cut salary, and that's exactly what happened with the Boston Celtics. Tatum got hurt, then they had to shed cap because they don't want to be in the second apron for a losing season. So teams have to trade guys a lot more often now. Dan Gilbert said, fuck it, I'll pay whatever fines you give me. But it does make the Cavs super limited with what they can do. For instance, the Cavs cannot add multiple players to a trade. If they make a trade, it has to be contract for contract that has to balance out. So they had Brian Windhurst on 850 today, and they said, Wendy, all I ever hear about is, LeBron's coming back to Cleveland, blah, blah, blah. And he just stopped him right there. He goes, guys, the literal only way the Cavs can get LeBron James is by trading them Donovan Mitchell straight up. That is the only way they can get LeBron James. And that's not happening. So just drop that question.
Move on.
Yeah, that's basically what he said. He's like, he calls into Rizzo's show every week, every Wednesday, I think. And he basically said, don't ask me that question every week. LeBron's not coming to Cleveland. They would have to trade Donovan Mitchell. That's the only way that works because of the contracts. They cannot add multiple players. So give it up. So that was Wendy's nice way of telling them to shut up. So that's my Cavs preview, basically. Again, they're the team to beat in the East. They need to take that step forward, prove they're not, season.
Right now, so we'll see.
Again, they're down. You're down 3 starters, basically. I'm not too worried about it. I expect the beginning of the season to be a little rough.
Easy bets tonight. I've been winning some decent money this week just based on -100, +100 range bets, right?
Oh, that's I love doing those.
And just doubling my money. So I put down $20 on a minus, or actually I boosted it by +100 for I think 6 rebounds out of. Let me see here. Mobley, 6 rebounds out of. Let me start this real quick here. I was just looking at it because it's not. So 6 out of Mobley, 6 out of Bam Adebayo, 6 out of Embiid, and 6 out of Jalen Johnson. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Simple enough.
Should hit.
Sounds right? Like at least. Yeah. You would think.
Mobley only has 1 though, so not looking great for him. But he needs to get together a little bit. 5 more rebounds.
That's not good. That can come. That'll come. I'm not too concerned about him. Actually, I guess I am in the second quarter. Only have 1 rebound is kind of bad for who's 7 feet tall. But I lost a bet last night. I had a 4-leg parlay, easy shit. One of them was just to get DeAndre Ayton to get 8 rebounds. You got a guy that's like 7'2". You think he could get a couple rebounds? He had 6, so you can't win them all.
I had the old Luka parlay, the 4-leg parlay for Luka. I had him down for 2 threes, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 25 points, and he hit all of those. So I won. It was a -104 bet, so I hit all those and won that bet. So double my money there. Not
bad at all. I love the NBA. I was so excited for the season to start. You can. I won some bets on Sunday. I hit a few bets, and Monday Night Football I hit some bets. So help my account just to get ready for NBA. But that was my whole focus, was just get the account ready for the NBA season, because I love fucking betting on NBA. But yeah, so I don't know if you have any different thoughts on the Cavaliers you want to share.
No, nothing right now. Honestly, to me too, I don't get excited about NBA, watching basketball, but I don't get excited about it until we get towards the middle part of the year, when, usually after All-Star break, when it's okay, let's lock in now and let's get going. My only ask is that we stay healthy, no injuries, let's just gel together, just play well, don't get hurt, make it to the mid part of the season, we'll be okay.
That's
from groups of friends are like, Mobley looks bad, Merrill's a defensive liability. It's okay, guys, let's just calm down.
Yeah, again, it's early. We have some new additions. We have some new guys getting, big minutes. Like Jalen Tyson's going to get some big minutes this year. Sam Merrill, as you said, is going to get some big minutes. We have Larry Nance on the court right now, which is cool to see. Lonzo Ball is here. So you have guys that have to get acclimated together. Of course, they were here all off season, but practice only does so much. Being in a real game, understanding spots guys want to be at. What the hell's his name? Proctor, I think. Yeah, Tyson Proctor, the rookie. Am I saying his name right? I can't remember his fucking name. Tyrese Proctor. Sorry, Tyrese. They got the rookies out there. So a lot of new faces, guys getting acclimated to the NBA. Their first game ever is in Madison Square Garden, which I'm sure the place is fucking buzzing. There's celebrities all over. They were just showing Ben Stiller and stuff like that. So, plenty to talk about or to get excited about and get a little overzealous, to be honest, if you're a rookie. So, again, I want to win. I want to beat the Knicks. But at the end of the day, I understand if the Cavs come out a little flat because all those injuries. They were running a practice yesterday, I think Kenny Atkinson said, and they had what's his face? Darius Garland was actually practicing, so they were like hinting, trying to make people think like, oh, he's close to playing, but he's not. He's recovering from a surgery. Do not rush him back. I like to think the Cavs are going to be smart about that and not do that. So please don't. With that being said, sorry, I'm just uploading the show to. I'm sharing it. I forgot to do that earlier, so trying to do that right now. With that being said, that we want to make our predictions for the NBA season. So we wanted to go in order. I'll start with Rookie of the Year. I think this one's kind of unanimous, barring any injury. I think Cooper Flagg is a great player. He was a can't-miss number one prospect on paper. All signs point to him being really fucking good. So I like Cooper Flagg to win Rookie of the Year. Sorry, not a very sexy pick, not flashy, but I think it's just the smartest bet.
No, I agree with you. Actually, that's who I'd pick too. No one else really picked for that one. I think he's the easy bet for it, and I'm curious to how it goes. But yeah, no, I really do think that's going to be the one that wins it.
I think the next pick here is another one that is kind of a no-brainer that everyone's going to go with, barring injuries, because that's what derailed him last year. I think he would have won this award over Evan Mobley had he stayed healthy, and that is Victor Wembanyama for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he is obviously an anomaly. He is the French freak, and he is a hell of a player. Obviously, he's being 8 feet tall definitely helps you with blocking shots. So I think he has kind of an easy path to Defensive Player of the Year if he can stay healthy. That's the biggest thing for him.
Yeah, I mean that's across the board. I think everyone's picked him. I could see Mobley maybe repeating it again, but it depends. But no, I think Victor's staying. You said bearing injury, I think he wins it as well.
Yeah. And then next up for Coach of the Year, for me, I am going with David Adelman, who is the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. I think the Denver Nuggets are a great team. I think they made some really nice moves in the offseason. And same thing, if they can stay healthy, Jamal Murray especially, he's struggling to stay healthy in his career, but they have, in my opinion, the best player on the planet currently. I mean, obviously, LeBron James is phenomenal, but LeBron's not getting any younger. But I do think the best player in the NBA, top to bottom right now, is Nikola Jokic, the Joker. And I have him as, or them as a great team this year. And I think with him being a first-year head coach there with the Nuggets, David Adelman is my pick for Coach of the Year.
I took the coach for the Rockets, Udoka. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think that team's legit. I think it's interesting that Kevin Durant's on a team he's not the number one person on that team, which is probably good. I think, but I think the Rockets have the chances to go pretty far this year. I do like him as potential Coach of the Year.
Yeah, the Rockets are interesting. They played their first game last night. I think losing Fred VanVleet, to me, takes them out of the conversation for being a legit contender, just in my opinion. Obviously, Sengun is a phenomenal player. They've got a lot of talent on that team. But again, losing VanVleet, I think a lot of people, not a lot of people, but like it's really tough to... You have that heart and soul with your point guard. He is the guy that drives the offense. He's out there calling shots. Losing a guy like VanVleet is a big loss for them, and I could see that hurting them in the future. So I like the Rockets, but I don't know. They're going with that really big lineup, which is interesting, and I'm very curious to see how that works out for them because they are going with a giant lineup with Sengun, Steven Adams, and Kevin Durant. You have 3 7-footers in your starting 5, and that's interesting to see how that's going to work out for them. But obviously, Kevin Durant's an anomaly who's a 7-footer that can score like crazy, and that's a good pick, though. The Rockets are an interesting team. Again, I'm curious to see how they can react without Fred VanVleet. My pick for MVP, I kind of just hinted at it with who I'm picking with the Denver Nuggets. I think Jokic is going to win the MVP this year. He should have won it last year, in my opinion. Top to bottom, he's the best player in the league by far. I know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can score a little bit. Kudos to him for being able to score. Jokic can score. He can give you 60 points. He can give you 20 rebounds. He can give you 10 assists pretty much any night that he really wants to. And that is a special player. So give me Joker for his second MVP. Should have been more than that. He should have had, this should be his third. But the NBA is fucked up, and the NBA likes to give out like secondhand MVPs to guys they feel bad for. LeBron should have like 6 in his closet right now. Joker should have like 3, but the NBA is fucked up, and they give them all to a bunch of different people because they think they're being inclusive.
Cavs are not doing so well right now. I keep on looking back at it. I was like, what the hell is going on? My pick for MVP is pretty simple. It's Joker. It's for sure Joker. I mean, that's a pretty. I mean, any season he's injury free and plays the entire year, he's going to be a finalist, if not win it. I think getting to what's his face last year was just them giving it to him, right? But I think I think Joker takes it this year.
I agree, and you're probably sensing a trend here. I have the Cavaliers against the Denver Nuggets in the NBA Finals.
We differ on this one.
Say again?
I said we differ on this one at least, but yeah, no. Yeah, part of what you said I have, so.
I'm wishful thinking on the Cavaliers, but again, I think they're the best team in the East, and if they don't choke and they stay healthy, they should, once they're fully healthy, they should beat every team in the East. I have faith in them taking that next step. I think some of the additions they made, getting Thomas Bryant was huge for them to get that extra big man that they need to, get some rebounds and defend. And God, the Cavs just keep throwing the ball away. Get some rebounds.
And when they look back, it just keeps getting worse. I should stop.
No, truthfully, I mean, right now it's just a turnover fest for both teams. So like the Cavs are down by 9, but both teams just keep missing layups and missing shots and turning the ball over. It's just ugly right now. So yeah, I mean, it's 35-44 right now for the Cavs. So again, 9-point game. It's not that big of a blow up by any stretch. It's a very close game.
But clean up though. A lot of things
just
need to clean up.
Another flat shot from the Knicks. It's just bad basketball for both teams right now, truthfully. But yeah, so I'm going with the Nuggets to win the championship over the Cavaliers. As much as I would love to pick the Cavs, I'm not even confident in them going to the finals. So that was just like they're the best team in the East. They should make it.
I picked the Cavs to make it to the finals too, so that was part where we're correct. But I also got the Thunder repeating. I think the Thunder go back and they repeat this year.
Okay. I just, for some reason, I don't know why, I foresee the Thunder having a bit of a sophomore slump. I feel like it kind of went to their head. They're a cocky team. The Nuggets last year, even with all those injuries, took the Thunder to 7 games, and that was with Aaron Gordon only had one arm available. They were pretty banged up in the playoffs. In the second round, I think they faced off. And yeah, so the Nuggets, who also, if you recall, like a week before the season ended, they fired their head coach. So they were going in with an interim head coach. They took on the fucking future champions of the Thunder, and it took them 7 games to clear them out. So to me, I look at that and I just go, the Nuggets are the best team in basketball by far. I also think that last year, Jokic kind of wore down towards the end of the season just because he wasn't in the greatest. He's in good shape. He's an NBA player. Don't get me wrong, but I think he kind of wore down because they asked him to do too much and play a lot of minutes. So that's why they went in and they got Jonas Valanciunas to kind of sub him so he can come out for a little bit and they can substitute another 7-footer that can shoot threes and get some rebounds. So I don't know. I like the Nuggets. I think they did a lot of really good moves in the offseason to put themselves into the championship conversation, and it's kind of underrated right now. And I think by mid-season, give or take, people will look at them and be like, oh shit, I forgot how good the Nuggets are. So that's why I'm going with the Nuggets. I don't know. I'm sensing them to have a really good season.
Good pick.
And that is your NBA talking about balls predictions. You know what?
One rebound. Way to go, Mobley, you hack.
One thing I completely forgot that we should have done already. We didn't do a talking about buzzball for the Browns win. That's how unimportant and uneventful the wins are for the Browns. I just thought of that now.
I really don't care because it's really not that meaningful right now.
I'm okay with not doing one as well, only because 3 floors down, and I don't feel like going down there. And Tara's trying to put Teddy to bed right now, so I can't ask her to go do it. So we'll just pass on the buzzballs for this episode, unfortunately. I completely forgot about it, everybody. My apologies. Really quickly, we will get into the World Series. World Series starts on Friday night. We, of course, are going to have the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Toronto Blue Jays. Great graphic there, George. That looks nice.
Very blue.
I like that. It is. I'm excited for it. I'm very happy. I personally, you know me. You've known me a long time. I do like the Dodgers. They're my favorite National League team, and this is not just something I started doing, a couple years ago when they got Shohei Ohtani. I have been a Dodgers fan. I can go back and find you pictures of me wearing Dodgers hats as far as 15 years ago. I've been a Dodgers fan for a while. I've just always liked LA. The reason I like the Dodgers is because Jackie Robinson was one of my favorite players ever. Obviously, I never got to see him play, but his story was amazing. And I've always been a Jackie Robinson fan. I have Brooklyn Dodgers hats, LA Dodgers hats. I have been a Dodgers fan for a long time. So happy if they win. They won last year. That's great. I would love to see them win again. No issues there. I think Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player we've ever seen. So, and not even just us. I think he's the best baseball player of all time, but I also think he's the best baseball player we've ever seen. And on the flip side, I am okay as fuck if the Toronto Blue Jays win the World Series. And let me tell you why. The Toronto Blue Jays are essentially the Toronto Guardians. They have so many former Guardians players, it's not even funny. But between, just off the top of my head, they have Shane Bieber, they have Andres Jimenez, they have Miles Straw, they have Ernie Clement. And that's just, again, off the top of my head, they have more that I completely forgot about. Mark Shapiro is the team president there, who obviously used to be here in Cleveland with the Guardians Indians. And he is running the front office in Toronto. It only took him a handful of years to get to the World Series. So I'm very excited for him. And, that's awesome. Again, I would have no issues with the Toronto Blue Jays winning. The one funny thing was in the chat for the Rizzo show the other day. I'm on there talking to people, and people were going on about who they want to win. This was back when the Mariners were still in it. And everyone's going, I'm rooting for the Mariners. They're like, I'm rooting for America. I'm like, what? And they're like, first people were just shitting on the Blue Jays. And I'm like, who hates the Blue Jays? Like, of all the teams, like, why is there bad blood? And they're like, because they're from Canada. I'm like, who fucking cares? They're like, no, I root for USA. I'm like, you do realize that most players on any baseball team aren't even from America, and they're not even from Canada. But I didn't want to get into an argument with people who are apparently just so patriotic they can't even root for a baseball team. I don't get it.
Cool to see Seattle, because Seattle's kind of that team that was just interesting to watch this year and fun to watch. Blue Jays are also fun to watch too. What do you think about the comment for the Dodgers manager that says, "Let's go win 4 more and ruin baseball"? What do you think about that?
I love it, because they hear all that shit. They hear everybody and their brother. You either like the Dodgers or you absolutely hate the Dodgers, because you're like, they just pay. They're buying their championships and blah blah blah. The funny thing about it, in my truthful, is Cavs are down by 1, by the way, for those keeping score at home. The funny thing that people don't realize is, obviously, every player that the Dodgers have, the other teams could have signed. There's no salary cap. All right, it's back to a 4-point game. Every player the Dodgers have signed, every team could have kept. Freddie Freeman with the Atlanta Braves, he didn't leave Atlanta because they traded him, or they had to get rid of him. They didn't want to pay him. The Dodgers paid him. Shohei Ohtani left the Angels because the Dodgers paid him a ton of money. Every player they get is just, they're paying him a ton of money because they have it, but at the same time, other teams can offer those players that kind of money. They're just not doing it. So you can't be mad at a team because they're willing to spend more in a league that has no salary cap. That's just, they're playing by the rules. Put a cap on, and then the Dodgers can't do this. Until they vote for a cap, the Major League Baseball Players Association, then the Dodgers can just keep dominating.
Which will never happen. So
exactly. And the other funny thing, too, is there's actually the most turnover with champions in baseball of any sport in professional sports. They have the most different champions over the last 20 years compared to NBA, NFL, whatever. The Major League Baseball, in fact, hasn't had a back-to-back champion since the Yankees, I believe, in the 90s. So there's a lot of turnover with stuff like that, which, again, everyone hates the Dodgers because they pay for all this money, but their salary cap isn't that different from the Mets, who didn't even make the playoffs, from the Yankees, who choked again, who were in the World Series last year and just didn't have enough talent. Like, these other teams spend their money. It's just a matter of who can actually put stuff together. Look at the Padres. every fucking year I feel like the Padres make a huge blockbuster trade. They sign their players to these huge contracts, and they stink. They get bounced in the first round. Then you have a team like the Brewers. Brewers have a small payroll like the Guardians. Brewers made it to the NLCS. Kudos to them. It goes to show you that the money really doesn't make that big of a difference. It's a matter of just the talent. And again, just because the Dodgers are willing to pay all this money, other teams can do the same thing. Nothing stopping these owners from spending that kind of money except for themselves. There's no limit. So I don't feel bad for any of these teams. That's just the way baseball is. And again, with the turnover with champions, I don't mind what the Dodgers do at all. Again, some fans might be pissed, but that's because we're Guardians fans and we see how cheap the Dolans are. And we're like, our payroll's, a third or a fourth of what the Dodgers is. And it's like, well, whatever, that's not my problem. We know who our owner is. So not much you can do. That's just who
the Dodgers here to win then?
I am. I do think they are just the best team in baseball by far. Their starting pitching is fucking dominant. And I think that if you can slow down the bats a little bit of Toronto, you're in pretty good shape to win a game. And I think the Dodgers have the pitching to do that. Their bullpen's a little shaky at times. And we saw the Blue Jays struggle a little bit against the Mariners. They're known to give up some home runs and to give up a lot of runs, and they need to make their comeback like they did. And I don't know if the Dodgers are going to allow that. So that's the one nice thing for the Dodgers. Holy shit, I blinked and the Cavs were down 10 by all of a sudden.
Oh my God.
It was 1 point a minute ago, and I look up and I'm like, wait, does that say 43-53? What the fuck? All right, it's 7 now, but still. So, yeah, I have no issues with either team that wins. If the Dodgers win, great. I'm very happy for them. Love to see Shohei get another championship. And if the Blue Jays win, I'm also very happy. I'd love to see Shane Bieber get a championship. I'd love to see Anderson Menez get a championship. The funny thing about the Mariners not making the World Series, and I don't know if you know this, the Mariners are the only professional baseball team that have never been to a World Series.
Really? Oh my God, they're that close?
They were that close. They were in a Game 7, and they have never been to the World Series ever in their franchise existence.
Tough nuts.
As a Browns fan, I'm looking at that and I'm going, no, keep that shit.
Cleveland fan in general, I don't care.
Yeah. Because, clearly, the Guardians have been to a championship or the World Series a few times in my lifetime. The Cavs have obviously been to plenty. They've won one. Browns have never been to a Super Bowl ever, not only just in my lifetime, but ever. And, when you have a streak like that for another team, misery loves company. So I'm looking at it as like, all right, Browns have never been to a Super Bowl. Mariners have never been to a World Series. Keep that going. Because at least the Browns have a little bit of company. The Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. I know they're new, but the Texans have never been to a Super Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. So misery loves company. Good for the Mariners for choking that game away. Thank you, George Springer. So, and my buddy that's a Seahawks fan is a Mariners fan, so I was really happy to talk shit to him about that.
Poor guy.
I rubbed it in his face. I was so happy. So, yeah, that's your World Series lineup, matchup right there, however you want to call it, and your prediction. I'm going, give me a gentleman's sweep. I'll take the Dodgers in 5.
Yeah, I don't see them losing. I would even take them in 4. I just don't see the.
I'm being generous. I feel like the Blue Jays might have a little bit of they'll be down 3-0. It'll be Game 4, and they're like, all right, let's get a W. And then it's like, do they have momentum 3-1? And then the Dodgers will be like, nah, we're good.
I think the Dodgers win easily though. Shohei is just too good. Shohei woke up in that last series, man.
He did. When you have 3 home runs in one game, you're pretty good.
And it's a game he pitched too, wasn't it?
Yep, he had 10 strikeouts, I think, in 6 innings. He gave up 2 hits. He had a 2-hitter, 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs, just fucking dominated. He basically won that game by himself. None of the other teammates needed to play. Shohei won that game by himself.
That was his game. That was the Shohei Ohtani game. That's insane.
Yeah, he's so fucking good.
Not bad for a player getting paid $1 million a year. So.
Yeah, it's not bad. The guy's so underpaid, and it's such a good team-friendly contract that will definitely not come back to bite the owners in the ass in a few years.
What a great deal for the Dodgers.
Hey, again, if baseball is going to allow shit like that, if the Players Association isn't going to step up, the Dodgers are not doing anything wrong. They are just doing what they're allowed to do. So I'm all for it. It is now it is time for Week 8 picks here in the NFL. We are going to get down to it, and we're going to rip through these because, again, we'd like to try to wrap the show up by about 8:30 at the latest. So we will rip through these picks very quickly. As usual, we'll go in order. I'll start first, Kyle, then George, etc. We'll do the Browns game last. Those are your spreads there on the right. Everybody gets to pick a spread. I haven't even had a chance to look at them, so I might have to circle back and do one later, but we'll go through at least the picks right off the rip. Excuse me. With that being said, first pick is kind of a toss-up. As you could see, the Chargers -3.5. Chargers have been a very disappointing team. Vikings are going with Carson Wentz again, who's banged up. He was questionable to play, and they almost had to start a late-round rookie. They have some issues with the quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy still isn't healthy. So with that being said, on a short week with a banged-up quarterback in L.A., Thursday Night Football games, which I hate, give me the Chargers.
Interesting. I was back and forth on this one. I was kind of going in Minnesota could potentially pull it up, blah, blah, blah. No, I think the Chargers take this one. Give me Chargers to win this one, straight up.
Ditto. Sweep it.
I hate Thursday night games. The more I watch them and the more I see nerdy statistics about the games, is just most of them, obviously last Thursday was an anomaly, but most Thursday night games are pretty shitty in the grand scheme of things. If you really think about it, if you go back and look at all the Thursday night games you watch, it's just bad football. And it's nothing against the players. I totally get it. It sucks for them. The football is a grueling sport, and these guys are now on basically 3 days rest. They have to go and play another game, and you can tell they're not right. A lot of these guys, they just look tired. The game looks bad. It's just ugly football. So I personally hate the Thursday night games. I'd be okay with them doing away with it. I don't give a fuck about high school football. So if I'm the NFL, make it a Friday night game. Give these guys an extra day off Friday night. Guys want to watch football. I'd love that, but it'll never happen. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. So ugly football. Give me a Chargers W. Could be a very close game, but I'll take the Chargers. Next up, Miami and Atlanta. Again, Atlanta is Jekyll and Hyde. They're really bad at most times. But with that being said, the Dolphins are trash. So give me Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta here, easily.
Sweep it.
All right, next up, the Jets at the Bengals. Tyrod Taylor. I don't think that makes much of a difference, especially in Cincinnati. Give me the Bengals here. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be going back and forth. My apologies. Kyle,
I'll go first. Give me the Bengals. This is easy.
Go Flacco.
I was trying to go rapid fire too much, and I didn't even think about what I was doing.
Rapid fire just in random turns. It's okay.
Next up, George, you are up. New York at Philly. This is a rematch from 2 weeks ago. Speaking of shitty Thursday Night Football.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous, but give me Philly at home.
Give me the points for the Giants here, 7.5.
Plus 7.5. But are you taking? No,
I'm going to take them to win too. Plus, so 7.5 to win that one.
You're going to take the Giants to win outright. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to go with Philly. I do like the points there. I was kind of thinking about that one, but I think I have another one that's kind of catching my eye. Next up, we have Buffalo at Carolina. Give me Buffalo here against Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket.
Oh, yeah, Buffalo.
Sweep. All right, Kyle, you are up. Chicago at Baltimore.
Chicago. Give me the Ravens at home here.
Is Lamar playing yet?
As of yesterday, he did not practice this week. So I don't know. I'm assuming he's out, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, as long as Lamar's out, I'll take Chicago.
Okay. I'm with George. I'm taking Chicago, assuming Lamar is not playing, so that this one's going to have an asterisk next to it. I will be in the air when this game starts because our flight, I think one of our flights is at 1 o'clock. So I will be in the air at kickoff. So I am going to, again, put an asterisk next to this. I am taking the Bears if Lamar is out. If Lamar plays, I am taking Baltimore. My pick is strictly on that. And with that being said, yeah, let me take a look at some of the lines here that we're working with. No, I like a different one. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to take Chicago with an asterisk because of Lamar, and that's it. I won't take the spread on this one, so asterisk there.
You can skip George's next pick here. We all know who he's picking.
100%. Are you doing the asterisk move also, though, for the Chicago?
Yes.
You're sticking with them regardless? Yes. Okay, I'll put an asterisk next to that one for you.
Yep.
Okay, and then next up is George.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Fran and the points, please.
You son of a bitch. That's exactly what I was going to take. To me, it's just easy money, I feel like, because the Niners are a good team and the Houston Texans are trash. So I guess we're double teaming that one because that's the spread that I was eyeballing. So I'm taking that one myself. I am going San Fran.
I can't believe that they have Houston as a favorite in this game, even though they're at home, which is crazy to me.
Like, does Vegas know something we don't? Like, is there a situation? Is somebody going to be ruled out at the last minute? Like, they got Kittle back last week. They have
Vegas knows. So
I think they're just doing it because San Fran has to travel across the country.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's halfway.
Yeah, I know.
Who are you taking, Kyle?
I'm taking San Francisco here.
Okay. And then next up, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I'm going to go with, even though they're banged up, Baker Mayfield didn't practice today. He's injured. They have no wide receivers. They basically already ruled out Bucky Irving. They ruled out Chris Godwin. Mike Evans is out for the season. Emeka Ibuka's still banged up.
Oh, he's playing? What are you talking about?
Who?
Double E's playing. Yeah.
I never said he wasn't. I just said he's banged up. I said they have a bunch of guys out, and I said Emeka Ibuka is banged up. So thank you, though, George, for trying to jump down my throat, even though you were wrong. But
hey, quit trashing the guy.
They are banged up. They are at home. Part of me, they're coming off a bye. Give me New Orleans.
Sucker. I'm taking Tampa Bay all day.
Oh, yeah, Tampa Bay wins this one.
I think you took Tampa Bay last week too, George, and how'd that work out for you? So,
no, I took Detroit.
Let me check the notes here. No, you took Tampa Bay and Houston last week. You went 0 for 2 on Monday Night Football.
Really?
That's what I have written down here. Hey, you took Tampa. You took Houston. Yep. Again, Baker's banged up. He missed practice. I could tell he took some rough shots last week and looked very uncomfortable. And I don't know. Again, with all those guys injured, there's part of me that just feels like New Orleans is coming off a decent game where they can score. That's, again, the one thing that they can do. They can put up points. They have a decent defense. All it takes is for all those injuries to just catch up to Baker and the Tampa Bay offense, assuming Baker even plays. So I'm going to go with New Orleans just as a little, shot in the dark here. This is my wild card pick of the week. Next up, Dallas at Denver. Kyle, who do you have?
It's going to be a good game, I think. But I'm going to take Denver at home.
Okay. George?
Just seeing how bad Denver's defense was last week, I'm like, okay, the Cowboys got all their toys back, and I'm like, didn't see that coming, especially with CD. I was impressed. I was like, whoa. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Cowboys on this. I'm just very uncomfortable with how Denver just went to show up and show out, especially for the Thomas Memorial game. Basically, it was like, wow, that was rough.
They're paying homage to him. They were playing dead for 3 quarters. I'm with you though, George. I'm going with Dallas. I think Dallas has a firepower on offense for some reason. Their defense is playing decent. Denver's offense doesn't scare me that much. I mean, Bo Nix makes some nice plays here and there, but I feel like Dallas can score. As you mentioned, Denver's defense has been weird this year. They're hit or miss, and they are without, I believe, Dre Greenlaw, who's suspended. They upheld his suspension, and he's one of their better defensive players. Yep. So I think Dallas can score here, and I feel like this one's going to be a little tougher because Dak won't make the same mistakes that Jackson Dart did if the Denver Broncos need to make a comeback. So I'm with you. I'm going with Dallas. Next up, Tennessee at Indianapolis. This is a clean sweep. I think is it even worth asking? I think we're all taking the Colts.
Yep.
Super Bowl future Colts right here.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, as they call him. So we all go Indy, and then Sunday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers at Pittsburgh Steelers. Kyle, who do you got?
What a schedule this one was, huh? It's so weird. It's on Sunday Night Football. All the eyes are going to be on it. Give me Green Bay against the Steelers here.
Yeah, couldn't they have flexed this out? What a prison inmate game this is. Jesus.
I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Pretty crap game.
2 of the best records in football. It's his prison game for George.
Just garbage. What a crap game.
And the team that's hosting is garbage, and their fans are garbage, cousin fuckers, but the game itself should be pretty decent.
Not as bad as Green Bay's defense has been showing up and crapping out.
Yeah, that's okay. A win's a win.
Give me Aaron Rodgers against his former team, I guess.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about that aspect of this game. It's been so long since it's with Green Bay, I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
All right, I am going to go with Green Bay. I think Green Bay is a better team, and it's funny because I was thinking about that yesterday too. I was watching the Rockets Thunder game, and I'm watching Kevin Durant, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good game. And then all of a sudden, it took me a while to click, and I go, oh shit, that's right. Kevin Durant used to play for the Thunder, so this is kind of a special game for him. And I'm like, he's been on so many fucking teams, I don't even think about it anymore. Like it took me till like the third quarter to click that he played for the Thunder, and kind of the same thing with Rodgers here. I'm like, oh, that's right, he was on the Packers for 15 years or whatever. So slipped my mind. Monday Night Football, we only have one game this week. That 10:30 start on a Monday was so fucking dumb by the NFL. We have Kansas City at Washington. George, I'll let you start us off with this one. I believe you're next up in the rotation.
Kyle picked the Green Bay Pittsburgh.
I took Green Bay.
Yeah, he started off. He took Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, it's Kansas City. Washington. I think this is banged up hard.
Pretty safe to say this is going to be a sweep.
Yep, Kansas City.
Especially based on that spread that Vegas gave. All right, and then last but not least, that takes us to the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. Quick preview, George, give me your pick, and then Kyle and I will break it down and wrap it all up.
I'm weirdly taking Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah. New England's just as Jekyll as Hyde as the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah.
So New England's a little weird. And they're in first place, so I think they're very different than New England.
It's a little weird. I'm just thinking, yeah, give me the Browns again.
Okay, that's a bold choice. I'm not gonna lie. I jotted down New England, just expecting that to be your pick. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, George. We'll talk to you again. Do you have a tip this week by chance?
No. I let you fellas have that bad boy.
No, okay. Right, then we will talk to you post show. Thank you. So yeah, quick breakdown here. The Cleveland Browns taking on the New England Patriots in New England. As I mentioned, New England is 5-2. They are in first place in the East. They have beaten the Buffalo Bills. They have some good quality wins this year. The funny thing, again, Browns fans are really stupid. So the discussion that they have is, oh, the Browns fucked up. They should have kept Mike Vrabel. Look what he's doing with the Patriots. Patriots have Drake May. Drake May is a very, very good quarterback. I really liked Drake May coming out of college. He is a poor man's, and I don't even want to say poor man's because he's not that far away personally. I don't think he is a similar version of Josh Allen. He has a strong arm. He can move with his feet. He can create plays. That's the biggest thing that he does is he can extend plays. He reminds me of a smaller Ben Roethlisberger. And again, the best comparison I can really give him is Josh Allen. He can get out of the pocket. Plays break down. He's going to find guys wide open. Stephon Diggs is a great player this year. He's healthy. The Hunter Henry's a huge target for them. Their running game is weird because I drafted Travion Henderson very early in a fantasy league, and he doesn't get the ball, and I'm kind of pissed about that, so fuck Mike Vrabel. But there were a lot of good pieces in New England already. The New England Patriots made some good free agent signings. They have like 6 new starters, I believe, from veterans that they signed in the offseason. I heard today from Tony Grossi. So really good. They're a good team. They're not a bad team at all.
My dogs are just giving me
the dog pound, ready to go. They are ready for football.
Wrap it up speech.
They hear the Browns and they're like, woof. So, yeah, I mean, New England Patriots are a really good team. Do I think they are, again, they're not a world beater. Holy shit. I haven't seen Charles Barkley in a while. He looks like he lost a lot of weight. I'm guessing he's on Ozempic.
Oh, Ozempic, dude.
100%. He looks good, but he just looks so skinny. That's interesting.
Coming out of retirement. He's going back to playing basketball this year.
Oh, damn. Was that Ernie Johnson driving that car? He clipped the fucking stage. That's funny. It must be nice to have that kind of money that Ernie Johnson can drive a car on the set, hit something, and just fucking laugh about it. Like, could you imagine? I'd be fucking having a panic attack, and Ernie Johnson just like, fuck it, take it out of my pocket. Here's money for this car.
How did TNT let that group go, though? Like, how did you let that group go?
Horrible programming decision. I don't understand what TV stations do when they make awful decisions like that. Like, for me personally, I feel like sports in general have just they've fucked up so much. You have Fox, who pays Tom Brady just tons and tons of money to be their number one guy when Greg Olson is clearly their best person, and they demote him for Brady just because it's Tom Brady. Like, yes, he was a good quarterback. He's not a good announcer. I think he's dog shit. Same with CBS. CBS has Romo. I think Romo sucks. I personally hate listening to him. But these stations make these fucking bizarre choices. Even looking at,
These four people together are like gold. I mean, they put on such.
It's so good. They constantly, every year, there's like 100 different clips. I could watch Charles Barkley and Shaq talk to each other all fucking day. They're all so good together. But then, like, you look at the way sports are nowadays. Look at ESPN. It's just engagement bait. It's guys just saying the most outrageous shit because it's going to go viral. I mean, Rizzo did that last week. Rizzo went on a rant about Myles Garrett and how he's a ghost and he's overrated and blah, blah, blah. And he was yelling, and it was the fakest fucking thing I ever saw.
It was in the McAfee show.
And then Pat McAfee played it. Pat McAfee's like, wow, look at this guy, Tony Rizzo. And I'm just like, God, that's so fake. Rizzo literally does these rants on purpose to try to go viral. And mission accomplished. He got one. I'll give him that. But it's all bullshit. It's so fake. Every day, again, with his show, the same thing. The show title every day is literally, when will Shador play? Is this Shador's week? Every fucking day, because it gets clicks. People jump into the comments to say, oh, the Browns are racist. They should be starting Shador now. Like, it's just the dumbest fucking clickbait stuff, and I hate it. I wish people would just go back to give me old school Sports Center. I know he's dead, but like Stuart Scott, fucking Scott Van Pelt, all these guys. It was so good. NCAA allows athletes and athletic department staff to bet on pro sports starting November 1st. I'm okay with that. I mean, whatever. These kids are probably doing it anyway. There's no way to really track what college players are doing. There's so many of them. And it's pro sports, so it has nothing to do with them. So I'm okay with it. I think pro athletes should be able to bet on sports if it's not in their league. I'd be more than okay with it. And even still, depending on what the bet is, I don't give a fuck. If it's negative, like Pete Rose used to bet on the Reds to win games, and they suspended him for life. But he was betting for his own team to win. So he's not fixing games. He's not doing anything crazy. He's like, hey, I think we're going to win. I'm going to put money on it for us to win so I can make more money on the side. And baseball's like, fuck you. Can't do that. Stupid. Now, if he's out there betting on his team to lose and, they're losing, I think that should be the rule. You can't bet on anything negative for your team to hurt your team.
And no unders, no negative. There you go.
Yeah, you can't bet the under for your strikeouts if you're a pitcher. You can't bet for your team to lose. Totally fair. I'd be okay with all that. But I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Pro sports, you're not allowed to bet, but every fucking stadium is packed with DraftKings and FanDuel advertisements everywhere. It's hypocritical, but it is what it is. It's just the world we live in. But the Browns, again, winnable game if they do the right things. If the Browns can control the ball, run the ball all game, keep the ball out of the Patriots' offense's hands. Dylan Gabriel so far has no turnovers. He has for sure had some turnover-worthy passes, but they're not catching them, so it counts, or it doesn't count. But if the Browns can not turn the ball over, they can control the clock, make life difficult for Drake May, because Drake May has not faced a defense as good as the Browns yet. He has actually faced some pretty crappy defenses so far this season, so this will be his first real test to go up against the Browns, but who knows this Browns team better than the guy who was on their staff last year, Mike Vrabel, and vice versa. I think Kevin Stefanski knows a lot about Mike Vrabel, but I just think talent-wise, the Patriots have the better players. They have the better quarterback for sure. They have the better wide receiver in Stephon Diggs. I am going at home, especially. Give me the New England Patriots here in a W. George, really quick, could you pull up that? You don't have to pull it up, but could you just look at your last slide? What's the spread on this game?
6.5.
6.5. Okay. Nah, I don't like that enough to touch it then. Never mind. Thank you. I was going to think about switching, but I'll stick with my San Fran plus 1.5. But yeah, I'm going with New England to win this game. I just think that this is too much of a tall task for the Browns. I feel like the Browns got a big win against the Dolphins, but they may have kind of shot their load a little bit to where they were riding on such a high. They're going to get punched in the face on Sunday, and they might look a little ahead to the bye week. So give me the Patriots.
I think it's going to be a good game for a while. I think the defense of the Browns is going to do enough to slow down. The Patriots going to do enough to mess with Drake May. They don't have a running game, so really they're going to make him throw the ball, obviously. It's going to be interesting, but I think at the end of the day, I think we make some mistakes, and they capitalize on them. I think they take it. I think the score is probably something closer to 21-14 just by a touchdown, maybe even just a field goal. I think it's going to be within that spread, though.
I do too. I'm not by any means do I anticipate this to be a blowout, but I do think the Browns just don't have enough to win this game. They have enough to keep it close, not enough to win. So I'm with you. Double New England here for the Cleveland guys, and then the San Francisco fan is going with the Browns for some reason. I don't get it, but I'll take it. So with that being said, it is time for everybody's favorite segment, of course. It is time for Just the Tip. And Taylor Swift, George's girl, I feel like he has this slide up on his background year-round. Every day when we're not even doing a show, he's got this slide up on his screen. So we'll let Kyle start off with his tip. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw you send it to George. I didn't even get a chance to look at it. So I don't even know what it is. So let's see what we have.
It's just the series of books, Dune. So I've been heavy playing that Dune game I've been talking about. And then I started reading the books. Well, actually audio books because I've been traveling a lot. So I got through the first book. The first book is actually just so if you know the Dune movies that came out over the last 4 years, the newer ones, I should say. So the first book covers what the two movies showed. I mean, not as much detail. So I listened to the first book all the way through. It's interesting when you watch a movie first and go back and read the book and all these stuff and information that isn't involved in the movie that you kind of pick up on. And I've seen the movies probably like 3 or 4 times. But so I finished the first one. I'm now on to the second one, which is the Messiah. So Dune Messiah. So now it's going in through kind of what took place at the end. And so there's 6 books total. I've read nothing but great reviews about every one of these books in this series. They're big. They're long. I think the first
tell
book,
me more.
just the tip. The first book in audio terms was probably 20 hours long.
Okay, so, that's about right.
So this one right now I think is 22 hours long. But either way, it's been good so far. I like it. The audiobook that I listened to through Spotify has like voices, so it's not like just somebody reading for the entire part. So like it's someone reads, like there's different characters that like, they talk while they're reading the book. So like it's the book, but it's characters speaking in their voices, right? So it's kind of cool. So it kind of adds to it a little bit, but I recommend it. I mean, I like sci-fi stuff. So to me, this is going to take up most of the next 6 to 7 months for me to go through this entire series. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it. I've yet to see Dune 2. I kind of forgot about it.
It's such a good movie. You got to rewatch the first one though.
I saw the first one. I remember I didn't love it, so that's why when the second one came out, like really quickly, I was like, because I didn't see the first Dune for a while. So when it first came out, I waited till it was like on HBO or whatever. So then we watched it, and I was like, that really wasn't that great. And then like it felt like 2 months later, Dune 2 came out, and I'm like, I guess I'll wait for this one to come out. And then it came out, and then I saw that it's like a 3-hour movie, and I was like,
It's kind of like the Star Wars movie. There's so much lore and stuff behind the entire like universe of Dune. Like these books were written a while ago, right? So there's this entire base history that has been written and talked about, characters developed, so on and so forth. So these, if you remember back in the 80s, there was a Dune movie back in the 80s. Which, looking back at it, it's funny looking at it, and now they just redid the movies. But so there's a lot to it. So people who like Dune have liked it for a while. I recently just got into it. I watched the first movie, the new one that came out. I liked it. Watched the second one, liked it even more. Played the game. Now I'm going back and reading the book. So I've kind of reversed it a little bit. But to me, it's a good series. It's a good environment to dive into. It's interesting.
I definitely will. I'll check it out eventually. I'm just not in a big hurry to watch 3-hour movies these days with the kid because you don't have a whole lot of time. So you got to pick and choose. My pick this week is also an audiobook that I listened to, and it was read by the author himself. And that was The Book of Sheen from Charlie Sheen. He wrote an autobiography. And the one thing I will say is it fell off a little bit at the halfway point. So it started off with a lot of his childhood and him growing up and having friends and like having a famous dad and just him and his buddies, just and his brother, even Emilio Estevez, playing with, their home video camera, making their own movies. They've just always been infatuated with movies and stuff like that and film. So it was really cool to learn about. And then it starts talking about how he got his first acting roles and his whole life, he was a good baseball player, etc. And really cool stuff. But he didn't go into as much detail with the cool stuff that you'd want to hear. Like the drug stuff was like, he talked about it a little bit, but he kind of, to be honest, and if you ever listen to it or read it, you'll catch it. He really downplays everything of just kind of like, I had a nurse come over and inject me with this and that, and I had a nurse do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of like, he kind of makes it out like it wasn't that big of a deal when even though he was a fucking nutcase. I think it's safe to say that. He blames the winning speech and the Tiger Blood thing on the pitcher, Brian, who was it? Brian Wilson? No, I can't remember his name. I think it might have been Brian Wilson. There was a pitcher for the San
Giants?
Francisco,
For the
San
Giants?
Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
I think it was Brian Wilson. He said that he all of a sudden out of nowhere just said like, I like this guy. I like his moxie. And he had his agent like call him. And next thing you know, they talked on the phone together for like 2 minutes. And that guy said something like, you're an actor. I'm a pro athlete. We have something different in our genes. We have tiger blood. And that's where Charlie Sheen got it from. So he like gave the credit for that. But he really downplayed his mental spiral issues, to be honest. The first half of the book, if not more, was like his childhood till he got out of high school. Then the rest of it, I feel like he kind of blew through it. Didn't give a lot of details about some stuff. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, I met this penthouse girl, and then next thing you know, let's just say we had a fun night, and then I met this lady, and like he just skips over some things, and it's like, I don't know, he left a lot on the table. But it was great. It kept me entertained the entire time. It did intrigue me to want to watch his documentary that is on Netflix. He has a couple parts about Charlie Sheen that I think has a little more detail than the book. So I plan on watching that now very soon. So we'll go from there. But this book was fantastic. If you get a chance to check it out, I think it was like 8 hours total. It was a pretty quick read, which again, for a guy who's like 60 something years old or whatever, to only have an 8-hour book with the shit he's gone through is where I kind of go, I think he really undersold it. And he had a lot more stories to tell, but I also feel like he wanted to keep some things secret in his life, which is fair. He's probably done some really shady, weird shit that he doesn't want to talk about. But I feel like that would have made the book a little bit better. So check it out if you get a chance. I'm a big Charlie Sheen fan. I always thought he was talented and funny.
I'm surprised he's still alive. Hats off to him.
That's the other thing too is, there's some guys out there that like most of the guys in Motley Crue and most of the guys in Rolling Stones, guys like that. It's like, how the fuck are they still alive after what they've done to themselves? But some people just...
I think the common thread is drugs keep you alive for a long time. So it's okay.
Yeah, certain people, for some reason. I don't know what it is. There's other people that do it like once or twice and they OD. And then you got guys like, again, Motley Crue and Charlie Sheen. And they do like the one story really quick. I'll tell you, I won't waste more time. But the one story, and it was that Charlie Sheen had a drug dealer. And he was at one point buying so much drugs that the dealer got it directly from the cartel. So the dealer at one point had to call Charlie and say, hey, man, I got to cut you off. And he's like, what? And they told him that the cartel said no human can go through that much drugs, that they were certain he was a dealer on the side and they didn't play with that shit. So they said, because you're Charlie Sheen and you're famous, they're going to let it slide. But you're cut off. The cartel cut off Charlie Sheen because he was buying so much drugs that they said there's no way he's not a dealer. And Charlie was like, I assure you, I was using all of it.
What was his drug of choice?
It depends on the time you talk to him. He loved crack. He said crack was the best thing he ever did. I don't think he ever tried heroin, if I remember correctly, but he did do through an IV, he did a liquid. I forgot what it was called, but he used to do like a what's the word I'm looking for? An opioid that was
morphine.
No, it wasn't. It was something else, but it was similar. So he had he used to buy it from this lady who would, get it delivered to him, and he did it all the time. He started off as a pothead, then he turned to coke. He did a ton of coke, and then crack was his drug. He loved crack. So yeah, a little bit of everything. Old Charlie boy, and obviously alcohol. He was still is probably a big drinker. Or no, I think he's actually been sober for a little while now. But very good book, funny stories. Again, I just feel like there could have been more detail and a little bit longer chapters, but it is what it is. It was still good, still entertaining, and that's it. That's just the tip. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, again, we are off for 2 weeks now. So if any breaking news happens, the trade deadline is November 4th. So we won't be live that week. But if something crazy happens, again, maybe I'll pop on for like a half hour just to break down if the Browns do something crazy, because Kyle will be in Vegas. So we'll figure it out. I hope not to. I hope the Browns don't do anything and we get to take 2 full weeks off. That would be really great. But we are both going on vacations. We both can't wait. And we hope everybody here in Cleveland holds down the fort for us. And we come back in a couple of weeks with the Cavs having a winning record, the Browns maybe getting a win, and we will go from there. Again, we'll post all of our picks and stuff like that on social media so you guys can see them and know that we're not making shit up. We will still keep up the picks. So we'll talk to everybody in 3 weeks, technically, and we'll go from there. So everybody, be safe. Kyle, enjoy your vacation. I know I'll talk to you before that, but
enjoy yours as well.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, Cleveland, that was for you. All right, I am so